Welcome to another edition of Pittsburgh Sportsline on BPTV. Thanks for watching our show. We know it's the first playoff game since 1992 at home in Pittsburgh. So 8:07 is when it starts, folks. All you guys that are watching our show, you still have time. Get that popcorn ready. Get the Campidi's pizza. Yes, Dawn and Mrs. Campidi, they can order Dawn's Campidi's pizza from Dormont or just go up to Sip Sports Bar right now. Well, this is our show, Pittsburgh Sportsline. We normally have four guys on the show. I'm Al Levine, the talking machine. This is Little Z, Zach Brenner. He's not here tonight, in case you didn't know. Chip Hayner's normally in the chair, and he's drank so much Pirate Kool-Aid that he's down by the river there at PNC Park. And then we got Smokin' Jim Frazier. So there's only two of us tonight. And we're going to try to see if we can match our show from last week when the same two guys were missing. But they will be back. Chip will be back, well, maybe next week. I'm not sure about the schedule, but I heard they may be playing baseball in St. Louis on Monday and Tuesday. So we'll see about that, folks. And what we do is we start our show with what's on our mind. And I'm going to start with Smokin' Jim Frazier. What's on your mind?
Hey, thanks, Al Levine, the talking machine. And if you want the green,
I got my pen.
you got the C. Levine.
There you go. I need that back. Thanks,
hey,
buddy.
Just real quick today, I want to give a shout out to a local team. And I know most people think it's the black and gold of the Pittsburgh Pirates, but it's actually the blue and gold of the Pitt Panthers. Congratulations, excellent win over the University of Virginia. I never thought the ACC was a very tough conference, and Pitt is proving that. But they're playing an exciting brand of football. Got to give a shout out to the freshman, Tyler Boyd, who is on the Blitnikoff watch list already for wide receivers. Senior wide receiver Devin Street is one of the leading receivers in the country, averaging over 100 yards a game. And the fifth-year senior quarterback, Savage, is showing that he has an NFL arm, throwing the ball real good. So I tell you what, get out there and support your Pitt Panthers. Win or lose, they're playing some exciting offensive football. And that's what's on my mind.
Well, thanks, Smokin' Jim. What's on my mind, I got a couple promos here. Now, I don't know if you can get a... Oh, we always get close-ups. What am I saying? Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company has the open house car cruise. That's Sunday. This Sunday, finally, October 6th, folks, 12 to 4, Brightwood Road Station, rain or shine. So you'll see Sparky's birthday celebration, free hot dogs and drinks, car cruise and DJ. You got the fire truck, ambulance, police car display, antique fire truck display. You got the kids firefighter challenge. Just go down there. You got to get some energy burn off. There's no Steeler game this week on Sunday, so you got plenty of energy there. We got the vehicle rescue demonstration, fire safety, and other community vendors will be there. Help out. This is a free event. Don't forget to donate money to the Bethel Park Volunteer Fire Company. They help protect our neighborhoods, so there you go. Now, we also have an event, Little Z. I know his fan base is missing him. Renee from the Market District up in Giant Eagle, she said she misses Little Z. It's not the same show. So Little Z brought us this. We got the poster, and we got the fights on October 12th with Rod Sulka. Can't read. Jason Bergman's going to be there. It's going to be a great card. Smokin' Jim and I will be there announcing the fight. Aaron Ward's going to be on the camera, and you know the work that she does, folks. So we'll be out there. This is in Green Tree at the sports complex there. And I think the first fight, let me read this here. Sorry, John. I think we're at 7 o'clock is what I was told. First bell at 7 o'clock. Gates open up at 6 p.m. And there they are. And Rod's a champion, NABA champion. And he's also going for the Continental belt. So he could actually walk away. Well, he will. He'll have 2 belts. And he's going to come on to our show next Monday night. We're going to get a special guest appearance from Rod Sulka. So make sure you're out at Sips. I'll have more on Sips in a couple minutes here. And then we have an event for all of you fans of our show. And, of course, Pittsburgh Sportsline on Facebook. Chief, thanks for showing up. I was telling you about our event, and I need you to focus again here. John, you're doing a heck of a job on the computer. This is intern John. I heard this is his last week.
No, boo.
It can't be. He's been like one of our Pittsburgh Sportsline family. And what we're doing is we're launching a magazine. There's advertising opportunities. There's photo ops. If you have any sports stories that you want us to put out, this will be a free monthly magazine, all gloss magazine, all color. And it'll be out each month. So we're going to come out with that. Now we have this launch party at Savoy Restaurant Lounge in the Strip District, October 17th, 5:30 to 9. It's a free event. Happy hour prices from 6 to 8. Free appetizers for the first 100 people that are there. So come on out there. It's free. Register online at Pittsburgh Sportsline on Facebook. We even have an Eventbrite. You can get free paper tickets. Smoking Jim did it. He never did anything like this in less than 10 seconds. So it's all possible. Now, we're going to be delivering these 10,000 magazines in over 300 locations. So you'll see our smiling faces, articles, and other local news, sports, and everything out there. So we're going to cover it all for you guys. Thanks for watching the show. Thanks again for John the intern. We've got Aaron Ward in the control room. And thanks to Dave Cable and BPTV for all the editing and work they do to let us be on the air. I appreciate it. And Smoking Jim does too. He's thankful every day. Now, we usually revisit what's on our mind, and I wanted to revisit just a couple questions for Smoking Jim. Where's Tyler Boyd from?
He's from...
Do you remember? It's a place you're not like that or something.
Yeah, he's from Clareton High School.
Okay, just checking there.
I like Clareton a lot more that they got beat by Monessen.
They're on a new streak, though. I ran into a couple guys at the Pitt game, and they were talking about it because I was down there with Chuck Bonasort there with Pittsburgh Stop. If you need T-shirts, you need any Pitt gear, they got men's, women's, children's Pitt gear.
I need some T-shirts. I gotta get with.
Well, if you're a triple X, they have a limited supply. If you're a double X, I think I can work something out with you there. But you got to come down and see us. And that gets us into our next segment with Sip Sports Bar. We had a great crowd last night. A lot of guests. Of course, it's always a great day in sports, as you know. And we appreciate all the people. I want to give a shout out to the unofficial mayor of Dormont, Tony Fassetti, longtime resident of Dormont. I worked with him at the Post-Gazette, went to school and high school with him. Then another friend of mine showed up because of a friend of Smoking Jim. You know how Pittsburgh, they say there's 6 degrees of separation. I think we're down to 2 degrees. Smoking Jim invited a guy. He's been on this show, Championship Chase. You got to check the show out. And this gentleman, Tom Plungen, is that the correct pronunciation there?
Yes, sir.
Well, here, they're friends with this Jay Miller, who I went to grade school with, high school with, and hadn't seen him in about, we'll say, 30 years. Jay, thanks for being out and supporting our show. We'll see you again. But Tom was an excellent guest. And I didn't realize that he knows more than football.
Yes.
Smoking Jim, I was surprised. He answered all my questions and gave me a few. He gave me a run for my money there. He's welcome back anytime. When the video comes up, you have to check this out. We had a lot of great, interesting conversation there with Tom. Just a good guy there. And then Sunday night is trivia night at Sip Sports Bar. Again, that's West Liberty Avenue, 3024. For anybody watching this, it's 3024 West Liberty Avenue. Some people, we had a guest, a friend of mine, couldn't make it. He put down 20. Oh, I shouldn't say it, but 3024 West Liberty Avenue. Find us there. Tuesday night is Campiti Pizza Night, 50 cents a slice.
Wow. Come
on out there. Wednesday night is one of the growing nights in Dormont. It's called Smoking Jim's $1 Drink Ladies Night. And you may see him there this week. Then there's Thursday night. We like the wings, 25 cents a wing. It's not too bad. Friday night they have entertainment. They have happy hour after 4 o'clock, free parking after 4. Watch which side of the street. After 7, you can park next to the bar, no problem. Saturday night, other entertainment. Just stop on out there. It's a great place. Now we got to go to Fiction and Fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac.
Hey, thanks, Al Levine, the Talking Machine. I appreciate it. And fiction and fact is I don't have I actually had a photo on my phone, but it's not with me right now. But just wanted to remember one of the all-time greats and share a story with you about L.C. Greenwood, a friend of mine. L.C. Greenwood, for some of you younger guys, was one of the members of the Steel Curtain. Was drafted by the Steelers in 1969 in the 13th round, I believe, from a school called Arkansas A&M.
Wow.
And he came here to Pittsburgh. He was 6'8". He was a freak of nature. He would be equivalent to a Julius Peppers. He was that type of player. If you go back to some of the Super Bowls, one Super Bowl against Dallas Cowboys and the great Roger Staubach, he had 4 sacks, and who knows how many sacks he had. But he shared with me a story of why he wore gold shoes. And the reason that he wore gold shoes is he came up with the same year with a first-round draft choice by the name of Joe Green. And they played on the exact same side along with Jack Ham, who was the outside linebacker on that side. And every time he would make a tackle, the announcer would say, PA announcer would say, Joe Green made the tackle. So he put on gold shoes, which he got fined for every game. And when he would make a tackle, he would kick his feet up in the air and shake them. So they knew that. And the first time that I interviewed L.C. Greenwood, which I've had probably over 10 interviews with him, and we did fights together down in Mountaineer in West Virginia. But first time I interviewed him, I'm all psyched up because he had been on the ballot a few times for the Hall of Fame, but never was able to, get elected. And I thought he was worthy of the Hall of Fame. So I'm going on and on. You should be in the Hall of Fame. You should be in Canton. You need to be in Canton. And he stopped me, and he's a very serious guy. And he says, of course, he pointed at me with his pinky because it went that way permanently. And he says, I'll be in Canton one day, one way or another. I says, really? I'm all psyched up. You're going to Canton? You're going to Canton? He says, yeah. He says, I was born in Canton, Mississippi, and that's where I'll be buried one day. So either way, I'll be in Canton. So rest in peace, my good friend. You're a great man. L.C. Greenwood, you will be missed. And that's my fiction and fact from Smoking Jim's Almanac.
Thanks, Smoking Jim. I have a question since you're on the fiction and fact. I forget what the Hollywood bags. What was that deal there? Do you want to refresh my memory and the other folks out there?
Well, you know what?
Because I heard a couple stories there, and I just...
Well, you know what? Your stories may be better than mine because I kind of forgot about the Hollywood bags thing. But
yeah, I don't remember there. So
okay.
I stumped you. Call in 412-831.
I feel like Tom plunging right now.
Who's that?
Nobody stumps you better than Al. That was good. Yeah, Hollywood bags. That was his nickname.
Yeah. No, that was. I forget what that was about. We'll have to go to something else. Hey, by the way, I forgot to mention one of our other guests, and I said I'd give a shout out to her store. She was a great guest on our show.
Yes, she was.
Now, if I can only get... She gave me so much information.
And a Facebook friend of mine now.
Yeah, she's my Facebook friend. Was a great guest. Oh, here we go. Here she is, Kelly Wallace Ventrese. And her husband Chip was there. My friends come out because of that. She has something called Kelly's Collections Boutique. And it's at 616 and a half Brookline Boulevard. She's famous in Brookline. She's a bartender at the Consul Energy Center. She's also a bartender at Heinz Field.
That's where I've seen her before.
And she's on the cover of the Brookliner, which is the local little newsletter that comes out. She made the cover, and I told her we'd promote her a little. If you go to her store, mention Pittsburgh Sportsline, and she has Kelly's Cash. If you spend $25, you get $5 off.
Ain't bad.
And if you look on Facebook, she's all over that. But one of the guests, one of the friends of Chip Hayner, our co-host, and Stephanie Hayner, Jack, he saw a bracelet that she had, and he said he wanted to buy it. He actually bought the bracelet right at the bar. So not only do we talk sports, we do business, we network. There's all kind of fun. So come on out there, and thanks to Kelly for a great, performance on our show. We had some fun there, which was, well, we always do. So you got to come out for that. And now we got to talk some tough things, my friend. This Steeler debacle this season. It's hard for me to eat humble pie. 11-5, I predicted. I don't know if I made a mistake and it's supposed to be reversed. I'm getting a little worried on this because I don't know. It's bothering me, and I don't see that offensive line. The tackles look like they're non-existent. And just to let you guys know, once in a while, Smoking Jim has his text-only phone. He texted me during the draft, and he said, I don't think I'll be staying in the war room much longer with the Steelers. And I text back, why? And he goes, well, I said Mike Adams is soft on the chalkboard. So I text back because they feed him there, because we don't mind a free meal, just so you know. And he goes, no, I got my steak, but I don't know how long I'll be here. Well, a miracle happened. He lasted. But the other problem is his prediction was true. So I don't know what's going on there. Can they be saved? Can Mike Adams block anybody?
That'll never happen. And you can't blow it on first and second round draft choices. And the Pittsburgh Steelers hadn't had a good draft since Bill Cowher left, and who was really the acting general manager, before he left, and really could spot some good talent for his system. But the offensive line is horrible. I predicted 10-6, and I still
You're
think
still holding out. I
still think that's an outside possibility.
Right.
They have 2 weeks off to get it together. I think the schedule, like you mentioned many times before, is still an easy schedule, a soft schedule.
Right.
But that offensive line is the worst offensive line maybe in the history of the National Football League. The good note is the center that they got after Pouncey went down seems to be holding his own. So they lucked out there.
Yeah.
But everybody around him, other than Heath Miller, is struggling in the blocking department. So the one thing that is in their favor is they have a go-to receiver in Antonio Brown. He wants the football, and Big Ben is starting to get the football to him.
Well, Big Ben got a little banged up with his hand and everything. They said he dislocated a finger or something.
Wow.
Yeah, when that guy hit his hand. So maybe that was part of the ball control that he didn't have there. Who knows? I mean, right now everything looks like it's bad. You hear all these people now, they're saying fire Tomlin. Now, whether he won a Super Bowl with Cowher's players, like Smoking Jim says, I don't know. Cowher was 8-8 his last year, so I think they reverted back to the mean, which means they went back to 8-8 this past year, and a lot of those players are gone. Some of my thoughts are these offensive linemen, maybe they were soft, but they're your first and second round pick. Maybe you shouldn't waste picks on guys that need a couple years to develop.
Good point.
Because we're rebuilding here, it looks like, and anything can happen with this easy schedule. Le'Veon Bell, he looked pretty good to me without zone blocking because somehow he found a hole. I mean, I just want these guys to get in front of somebody, fall down, grab somebody. We were talking about that last night. At least Willie Colon could block and tackle on the offensive line, because he did that most of the time last year, and they only called him once in a while. And you know what? He was a tough guy out there. You think any defense is afraid of our offensive linemen at all?
None of them.
None of them?
I mean, Willie Colon could fight. He was a tough guy from the Bronx. And my philosophy on offensive linemen, and if you study college football like I do, the biggest, the most improved players going from college to the professional ranks is the offensive line. In college, you're a bunch of doughboys. If you're any good in college, most times you're playing defensive line. But if you're fat and out of shape and you got a little bit of ability, they'll put you on the offensive line. And guys like Jarvis Jones will run around you in college but can't do it in the NFL. The offensive linemen, for the most part in the National Football League, are men. So my philosophy has always been on the offensive line is don't draft them. Don't draft these guys out of college. Get veteran free agents to come in and make your line. Duvall Love was a guy that the Steelers got. Flozell Adams, Hardings.
Right.
You know, those type of guys. They've always got the center that they got right now is a veteran guy. Right. So there's guys that are out there that are proven that can play in this league. Get those guys to ground and pound on your offensive line, and then every once in a while, if you want to get a Mike Webster in the 6th round or something like that, let him develop, and you got something, no problem. But if he doesn't pan out, so what? So that's my philosophy, and the Pittsburgh Steelers obviously are not taking it.
Right. Well, maybe they'll listen to you this next year coming up a little better or closer. I'm hopeful. But how do you right the ship right now? You know, how do you get back on a winning track?
Well, it's real easy. One thing you have to do is you have a quarterback with experience in this league. So what you do if you're a quarterback with Big Ben is you have the ability to check off any plays that come in. One of the toughest coaches in the National Football League history was Mike Ditka. Mike Ditka believed in running Walter Payton when it was 3rd and 2 and running Walter Payton when it was 3rd and 20. And Jim McMahon would check off to a pass play, go to Willie Gault or something like that for a touchdown. And that used to infuriate Mike Ditka. So you got to say to yourself, do I want to make Todd Haley mad and win, or do I want to keep running the plays that Todd Haley is sending in there that's obviously not working against the defense? So if I was Big Ben, I would check off more. Peyton Manning made a career out of it, and Big Ben needs to start doing the same thing.
So you say maybe he should call his own plays?
Yeah, I mean, the plays that are coming in, if you don't like it, check off.
Change them up.
Yeah, check off. I mean, they used to have, the receivers used to be on such the same page. When Yancey Thigpen and those guys were there with Neil O'Donnell, they would just do a little, they weren't throwing up gang signs, but they would throw up a little signal to Neil O'Donnell, and he would just go. You know, Eric Green would do a little something. Hey, I got this guy beat, and you can do that. Right. And so there's all kind of ways. Football's the simplest game. Hey, the receiver gets open, hit him. You know, there's ways to get it done.
Well, what if you don't have the time? What's Big Ben supposed to do? He doesn't have the time all the.
That's true.
You know.
But Big Ben can improvise. There's times that he should have been sacked. In that first half, there was about 4 times he should have been sacked. He was able to.
It was brutal watching that first half.
Yeah.
That it was.
But that's what you have to do in the defense. Statistically wise, the defense is still pretty good. But if anybody watches it, that ain't the same Steeler defense.
Since you went to the defense, I know LeBeau has a certain style, but I never saw anything like this year where you have Troy playing a linebacker position. Is that because of a lack of talent here?
Well,
because I see that more and more. Before he'd freelance and he could come in and rush, but now he's actually playing that linebacker position now.
Well, the problem is, and that's a great observation, Al Levine, is that Mike Tomlin's starting to get stubborn. What he is he's tired of guys saying that he's not doing any coaching, which he hasn't been. So now he's sticking his nose in too much. Like right now, there's no way a 7th-round linebacker, rookie linebacker, Vince Williams, should be making the defensive calls. It should be Lawrence Timmons, because at least he knows the names of the players on the defense.
Hold it, wait, I got to disagree with you.
Okay.
I don't think Timmons knows as much as you say he does.
But he should know more than a 7th-round pick.
I know I listen to a couple talk shows, and then I observe things, and I don't know if he's capable of making those calls.
That's a shame if he's not capable.
I'm thinking it's not, because he's in there on a lot of the plays. But you got these rookies; they've earned the right. I heard, and I'm still looking for. I know I shouldn't say this, but the rubber to hit the road. I haven't heard this once this year on Pittsburgh Sportsline on Facebook. I have a little thing I promoted that there. That the road must have been a win, because I haven't heard him say it once this year, so we don't have a win. Now, Little Z says they're paving the road with the rubber because it's melting. So that's an honor of Little Z. Did you get that, John? Because John the intern, I don't know if this is his last show or what, but he misses Little Z. So we have that special
Lil
Z
Z
time.
misses John too.
Right.
And I'm gonna miss John if he's not back after this week. So.
Well, we heard rumors that he may help out. He may volunteer now, but he has to finish out his school career and things like that.
But I can definitely understand Little Z understanding the paving of the road when you're 0-4, because somebody from Steel Valley can definitely understand 0-4.
Paving. Okay. Well, I understand Little Z when he hears this. I tried to keep him away from, attacking you. Last night you were great. You started out calm. Didn't last that long, but we appreciate that. And your man Charlie Batch is everywhere, buddy. I just come in to the show and I saw him with UPMC doing a commercial for them. So shout out to Charlie Batch working with UPMC.
Wow.
So it's good stuff there. And then we were talking
about... Is that
about,
for Obamacare or is that something different?
I think it's something different right now. Of course, the government shut down. This isn't a political show, but, these things happen. Oh, and if you're ready to switch, don't switch yet. The Pirate game's not on the 8:07. You know they're always late. We still got more sports to talk. We'll even have Bucko talk. But still, I want to ask the NFL expert about Heath Miller. I felt that he should not have been brought back until after the bye week. And I noticed that he's in on a lot of different plays. They're spreading them out. They have him in the backfield. And I'm worried that the way these offensive linemen, they don't see color. They're blocking anybody that they see. And they're not even doing it that well. I don't want to see him get injured. That ACL and MCL, he doesn't have the deer antler underwear that Ray Lewis had, your boy. So I don't know if he can withstand that. But do you think they should have kept him out a little bit longer? Or?
I thought it was an act of desperation to bring a guy in who hasn't practiced all. I mean, it was amazing that you can come back this quickly from an ACL. But I think the smart thing to do was to wait till after the bye week, get his football conditioning back up, get that knee strengthened a little bit, and then you're not guessing that he's ready. You know he's ready to go out there, and then you can start building some things offensively around him. So I thought it was desperation for them to play Heath Miller and Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah. Well, with a tendon injury, you were telling me some things off the air. He had, what did he, tear a tendon or he injured his tendon?
He had something wrong with his foot, and I tell you what.
They said it was a tendon. So.
Yeah, when you got you're so many fine ligaments and tendons that run through your.
Well, you're like a doctor because you were a running back, and I heard you were a pretty good one there. So.
Hey, thanks, Al.
Did you ever have an injury like that?
Well, you know what? I had a knee operation, and I've never been hurt before that, and
or since I heard.
Yeah. So that was a devastation. I never thought I could get injured because how hard I worked. But when you get hurt, man, there's difference between pain and injury for sure.
Right.
And Le'Veon Bell was injured.
Right. But he made some nice moves.
Yeah, he did.
He gained some nice yardage when he got to run the ball.
He did, and against a soft Minnesota team. Pittsburgh definitely should have beat Chicago, Minnesota, and Tennessee. I didn't think that they were capable of beating Cincinnati at Cincinnati.
You're killing me, buddy, because I thought the same thing.
Yeah,
that schedule was so easy.
So easy.
Wow. We got a call. Hello, caller.
Hey, Alan, it's Chipper. How are you, buddy?
This is Chip the Prophet Hater. He's calling in.
Chip!
Hey, Sergeant Jim, how you guys making out?
We're doing all right. We're waiting for a report from the Bucko game.
Yeah, well, the festivities are just getting started. It is an insane asylum down here.
Are you in your seats yet?
Yes, I am. I'm sitting in my seats, enjoying the view, man. And there's a blackout in Pittsburgh tonight.
Well,
Hey, did you ride over on the duck?
No, we didn't, but he's on the other side of the river. And I said to my wife, I said, don't feed that duck, it's got disease.
well, you can see that duck on Pittsburgh Sportsline on Facebook and on my cover page. But anyhow, what's it look like?
Did you say that so you can make my wife drink again?
Yeah. I forgot that carries wherever I say Pittsburgh Sportsline on Facebook. Hey, how's the Bucko bandwagon? How's that Bucko bandwagon look there
I'm
tonight?
going to tell you what, man, this is really amazing down here. It's, I mean, the seats are almost like filled up. Okay. I guess we're going to have to check out to just get it out here.
Is it? Well, we just wanted to get a report from our roving reporter at PNC Park, Chip the Prophet Hayner.
This is the place to be, Alan. I'll talk to you guys soon.
All right, good luck. Bring home the win there. We need that win, brother.
Yeah, we're going to get it, man. We're going to get it. Talk to you soon.
Let's go, Bucks.
Well, so a blackout is a good thing tonight, huh?
That's here. I just want to know, since we're talking Pirates, Chip called in perfectly.
Yeah.
This is a blackout. The Pirate players were calling for a blackout.
And man, you're following suit.
We got it. Yeah, there's no doubt. And you wore the black hat. Oh, you don't have the pirate on there. Jeez. I don't usually wear a hat, but here. Little Z is supporting right here.
Representing.
This is another great sketch by Tempe Moore. Check out anything that Tempe Moore does. Art for Yins. She does some great work. Look at Z, looks like he's ready to start arguing with you about Steel Valley and Gateway.
Look like he's ready to go to prison.
I don't know about that. He's one of the best young contractors in the area here, buddy. You need a job done, he'll take care of that. Now, I know you follow the Pirates now since they're winning, and Russell Martin's on the team now. So.
Yeah, I was surprised. I didn't know he was black until halfway thugh the season.
I know. Well, at least you found out. You don't even go to the games to eat now because there's too many people there. You can't get those all-you-can-eat special tickets.
Pirates can get their catcher on Jet Magazine.
There you go. See what you learned here on the show? But with the Pirates here, it's quite the event to have Pirates at a home field advantage against the Reds. They just swept the Reds. There's people that say they should have lost one there, that you can't win 4 in a row. I say, why not? Bob Prince taught us about the hidden vigorish, that the more you win, the closer you are to losing. They didn't win enough yet. So that's what's happening. Now, one thing that I noticed, I don't know if anybody else did, when they posted the 25 players, I counted the players. There were 25. A.J. Burnett was missing.
Really?
From the 25-man roster. I don't know if that was a typo or what, but he wasn't on the players' roster, and I didn't hear anything else from it if there was a mistake. So that I thought that was odd, because I thought if he would have pitched a little better, of course, how much better can you do than Liriano? You know, at home, he's like almost undefeated. He has like a 1-point-something ERA, and left-handers, who the Reds have a lot of, he owns them. So I'm hoping at 8:07 when we run out of the studio that I see some strikeouts there by Liriano there.
Where are you going to watch the game at?
I don't know. It might be at in the home court. You're welcome to come over, Smoking Jim.
Man, I should have went tonight into the Bronx in Washington Heights, where the Dominicans are. That's where Pedro Alvarez grew up.
Well, maybe we should go there.
Well, I tell you what, if you're not Dominican, brother, I've been in there before.
Really? It's a rough crowd.
It's hard to get out of there with without some lead in your diet, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
Well, you know, I was born in the Hill District, buddy. I don't know if I told you that today. So I don't worry about all that color there. You're welcome. I'll just keep smiling and talking here. You'll get some talking machine there.
I'll take you with me to the Washington Heights and the Charleroi.
All right, let's go to Charleroi. I've been there. Maybe we'll get a show out that way. Who knows? I think they box out there. Only not in the street. No street fights. Speaking of boxing, I know you're excited about this boxing match in, Greentree there, my old stomping grounds there in Greentree. And you announced the last fight. This is Greentree Lightning Strikes 2. I better read that again. Yeah, Lightning Strikes Greentree 2. And you were for the first one. I was just a guest there. And you were doing one heck of a job on the mic. You even let me talk a couple times, too, back then.
That's back when you were hanging out with Michael Moore, former world
heavyweight champion. And his young son and his girlfriend.
We don't have any heavyweight champions anymore in this country. Huh?
Where are they? Russia. Did you see I posted that in Russia they're going to have the first heavyweight championship in Russia? What's going on with this heavyweight championship? But we got a lot of different weight classes. And they're lighter weights there. I think Jason Bergman's is he a heavyweight?
Yeah, he's a super heavyweight.
Right.
This guy can bang.
Right.
Yeah. And Jason has so much muscle mass that, you know, I'm sure he gets tested because he almost looks like a guy that's on steroids. That's how much muscle that he has, but he has the flexibility.
We better show that again.
Yeah.
Here he is right here,
yeah,
folks.
that photo really doesn't do him justice. He's really
It's
built
too dark
like,
here, I'm telling you.
Yeah,
it's a blackout on this fight.
Yeah, he's really built like a bodybuilder, but he has the flexibility of a boxer, and that tells you right there maybe he's probably probably all natural, perhaps.
And then we got Sammy Vasquez, who I was saving for this part. Another friend of our show. We've had him on a couple times, him and his dad, great guys. Because who can?
Mexican.
Exactly. I do the who can American because I'm like Pie Trainer here. American Heating and Cooling. For anybody that remembers that, we're going a little old school on you. But yeah, seriously, with Sammy training in Colorado, he explained to us at that altitude, the shape he's in, he doesn't get tired when he comes down to this 400 or 500 feet above sea level here.
That's amazing.
You know, and that's PEDs free, steroids free. And he really nice fighter. I enjoy watching him fight.
Me too. He gets you out of there quick.
Yeah, he does. He does. What else are you looking for with the fight?
Well, you know what? The last fight, Lightning Rod looked as good as I've seen a 135-pounder look in years. I thought he was, on that particular night, I thought he was the best 135-pound boxer on the planet. So I'm just looking to see if he can come in that same form and do it again. It's hard to duplicate a performance of that level, but if he can fight and consistently at that level, he's going to be a world champion. So that's what I'm looking for.
Well, they've been posting a few videos since now he does have somebody that's going to box him. They keep ducking him. I watched his video with his training. He looks super. He actually looked very good there. So
yeah, he stays in great shape. He's a family man. He's married. I think he got a child or soon to be.
She has a couple. He just had a child,
Okay.
Little girl, I think it was. So.
Yeah, and so he got a lot to fight for, and I think he's, by profession, he's a union man. So
there you
go.
go.
Retired military guy, so the whole bit.
Well, good man there, and we'll be out there announcing the fights, and we also are going to film it. Aaron Ward will be helping us film that fight, so it'll be a great time. Hey, we had another boxer who's getting in shape. Michael Shook showed up at Sip Sports Bar. This guy's 6'7". He said 230. I said 220 is going to be his fighting weight. You should see his workouts. Just unbelievable. Then he had some training mask on Facebook. Smoking Jim, you got to check it out. That's one of the funniest things that I saw, but he said it gets him in better shape. I don't even know what it is. I'm going to research it. I'm stumped on that one. I don't know what it is, but it's a training mask. And his girlfriend, Jessica Kaiser, was there. And we have a little joke that whenever he takes a picture that he doesn't smile. Like Smoking Jim, he's smiling all the time. He's just happy here, but he's talking sports. But Mike was putting out the good smile there, and they showed up and supported us at Sip Sports Bar. We can't wait till he gets healthy and recovers from his car accident. We wish his grandmother would get better quick, too. She was in this accident, and I think Jessica was, too. And, you know, they're both getting better and healthier every day. So.
And I love Mike Shook. I always supported him as a boxer, but I always say the eighth wonder of the world is how he ever got Jessica. Sorry, Mike.
And he has one of the best techniques that I kid about, getting in and out of the ring. If he can't step over the ropes, nobody can. It's just unbelievable the shape he's in. Okay, now we talked a little bit about Pitt, and you know the ACC isn't as tough as some of the Big East teams were. Now with the defense, they won 14-3, and I think that goes right to your point about a weaker ACC. Do you think Pitt can be bowl eligible and get enough wins for a bowl, being ACC now?
Yeah, you got 6 wins, and I don't think that before the season, most people were figuring that they would be Virginia in Virginia. And I think Pitt's offense is really surprising a lot of people because you had some unknowns. The quarterback never played here in Pittsburgh before. He played
fifth year
senior. He played at some other schools, but not here, and he hasn't played in 3 years on the field, on the varsity field. So he has an NFL arm. And then you have the receivers really stepping up, especially Tyler Boyd. Everybody knew Devin Street would be pretty good. Then you got a freshman tight end. And I played college football with his dad, Scott Orndorff. And
Really?
His dad could have been a professional.
What position?
His dad was a 235-pound strong safety.
What?
And his senior year, they moved him to fullback, and he ran for over 600 yards on limited carries. But he was an unbelievable, freaky athlete, 4.5 40 speed. He was from like West Green area down there, but great wrestler, great. I mean, he had outstanding speed for a guy that size, and just crazy. And there was a lot of good players, and he was borderline general studies major. I don't
really.
I think he majored in what's that stuff that you go to wood shop. I think they
basket weaving.
Yeah, he had something like that. He was always carving up some wood. So
was he?
Yeah, but his son played at Seton LaSalle, and a lot of great players come out of Seton LaSalle, and I know that's a rivalry of yours at Keystone Oak. But Seton LaSalle, I guess they're allowed to recruit because they're a Catholic school. But
sure, from the whole area out here in Bethel Park, they get kids. Upper St. Clair,
a lot of great players.
I don't know about names like Gradkowski. Like we all graduated. Friends of mine, Gradkowskis and Del Sardos, were all at Keystone Oaks. Then their sons went to football at Seton LaSalle, and you can see Bruce is now a second-string quarterback.
Yeah.
So shout out to him. I remember when he was born. You know?
Really?
Yeah, definitely. I'm that good of friends with Bruce. Well, if he still wants to say that, but working down at the Post-Gazette there.
Wow.
So yeah,
Small world.
I remember young Gino, his son, that has a Super Bowl ring.
Yeah, he's the starting center, I believe, now for the Baltimore Ravens.
Right, and they need some help there.
Yeah, they need to keep their players off the party bus. A stripper hit one of the receivers in the head with a bottle,
Well, that happens. They got to be able to take a shot there. You know that. No pun intended there.
The Grey Goose never killed anybody, right?
Well, not right away. It could take years. It's not supposed to kill you right away. You got to watch that stuff. We don't promote drinking, even though we're in a bar Monday nights. Buy the food.
I never had a smoke or a drink in my life, so I wouldn't know the difference.
Well, I've had one or two. So, over time. Nobody's perfect there. And then, as we're talking about our division here, look at what happened. Are we in the weakest football division in pro football?
Well, like I said, when I was a guest on Championship Chase,
we're going to talk about that after this.
And I said that Cincinnati Bengals have top 5 talent in the National Football League, but bottom 5 coaching, and that's what you're. That's
you've
what
never
you're
been a
beginning
fan
to
of
see.
Marvin Lewis, except as a person, I've heard.
No, I don't like him at all.
Okay.
Yeah. As a coach or as a person.
I just was bringing that up because you've told me that many times. He passed the test, folks. He's an honest man. For all you ladies that talk to him at Sip Sports Bar, he's an honest man.
But he married into the family of a friend of our shows, which is Robin Allen Clark, and so.
Well, that's a good disclaimer.
Yeah,
She's a big fan of our show and us, Smoking Jim. She likes most of the stuff we put out there.
Yeah,
so.
I think her brother married Marvin Lewis's sister. I think that's the way it goes. So.
Okay, well, we get a little fiction and fact from all over the place. Personalities, families. That 2 degrees of separation looks like I'm pretty close in Pittsburgh here.
You sure are.
It's pretty darn close. Well, let's talk about that Champion Chase show. I did miss it this week. I was a little too busy on there, so you want to fill me in a little? And because I'd like to check out a show if we can find out how I can see reruns of that.
Yeah, I'm the rover. Whenever
Are you?
I fill in when somebody can't make it. So fortunately for me, in the 4 shows that they had this year, they only have 16 shows that they do. I was on 2 of them. The first one, and it's D. Thompson, I'm a fan of. For some reason, he wasn't there. And so I was
like
able to
D.
fill
Thompson.
in.
I remember over the years with all his reporting and things.
Very, very good guy, very nice guy, and a guy that's willing to share. But Liz Costa is absolutely beautiful. So just hanging out with her, she's very professional, does a good job on the show. But Brian Cook, that's on that show. Okay. Brian Cook's his prediction's been pretty good because every week he's gone the opposite way of the Pittsburgh Steelers on predictions. So he's about
undefeated.
4-0. He's undefeated. So, And Tom the Bomb Plunging makes it fun because Tom will give you he don't polish the apple. He'll give you his opinion. Right. And Ty Miller's a national guy, and he's the one that pulled the whole show together. Really? So that's his creation. And it's probably the best half-hour show on TV.
I know I've enjoyed it.
Although there's some shows out there that's 3 minutes that's pretty powerful. But
oh yeah, we'll get into that in a couple minutes too. We might cover that.
But when you go to full half hour,
he's one of the hardest working guys in entertainment with TV shows. I'm trying to catch him, and he starts pulling another one out, and he goes, "Oh, I got to go to this one." So I appreciate all the stuff you're doing out there, and sometimes you mix it up a little bit too. You do that smoking routine that gets people fired up out there, my friend.
Hey, thank you.
Definitely.
Buddy.
Yeah. Speaking of these 3-minute shows, I saw about 3 of them. 1 4-minute, 3 minutes and 50 seconds. Another friend of our show in China. She produces a great show, and she has 2 of our favorites at Sip Sports Bar, Smokin' Jim, of course, and Alicia Sparks, who's doing a lot of great things in Ohio. And every once in a while, she comes to see us here in Pittsburgh.
Yes, she does.
So what's the story with that social curve? I know it's a whole program, but they've been teasing us with some of your predictions this year and some of the conversations you and Alicia have on the show. Very entertaining. I've posted it on, if you're drinking, Pittsburgh Sportsline on Facebook. And the quality is just unreal. It's Social Curve, and it's the sports SCTV or something, she says.
You know, China's just, she's a mad scientist. She's great at what she does. She puts it all together, all the music together. She'll be teasing you again on Thursday because we're going to do another show. It'll be me and Alicia Sparks.
Whoa.
Side by side again.
Look out. That'll be a hot show.
It'll be a hot 3 minutes, brother. That's all I got. I only got 3 minutes in me.
This is a family show, Smokin' Jim. I know they're filming everything there. It's all sports. They do Social Curve's supposed to do other type of fashion or other things.
Yeah, they do
too.
Fashion.
I want to learn a little more about it.
Yeah, politics, and they do. But the one thing they do that's very interesting is they talk about relationships between the man and the woman, and they bring in a guy, former college football player, running back, Kevin Ellerby.
Wow.
And he's a relationship expert, and him and some of the women, including China, really go at it. You know, in terms of, so it's very interesting. You know, even when my segment's over, I usually stick around.
Oh, that Batman never sticks around. You were gone so fast last night, my friend. You didn't even get your sausage there. They were looking for you. Brandy and Kelly were shouting out, "We're Smokin' Jim." I said, "Batman left the building." They couldn't catch you, buddy. I'm just glad you made it to the show tonight. It would have been, wouldn't have been too hard to talk all day.
Hey, the brother always found a back door.
I know. I thought you might have left by the front door if you were so quick. That show ended, you were gone. But yeah, the Social Curve, it looks like a great series of shows that's going to be out.
Yeah, China's very talented, and you know, and she is just somebody that I call her the house that Frazier built. You know, she had no experience at all in this, and I just seen the Lord blessed me with the ability to see talent in people, and I just seen the talent in China, and she just gone through the roof. She's done things now in Chicago, Montreal, Toronto, New York, Miami. So she travels a good part of the country, and pretty soon she'll be traveling the world doing what she does.
Well, she even does boxing with you.
She does a great job.
Her interviews they're classics.
Yes.
I've been around when she's interviewing people.
Yes.
Just excellent.
And whether a fighter wins or loses, they don't turn down the interview from China. And
I did notice that, too. I did. Hey, if she needs somebody to talk politics, buddy, you know I'm a little bit flexible on that.
I know.
And foreign relations, if you need some foreign relations, I'll talk about.
We need you. China loves you, man. We love for you to be part of that. Yeah.
Well, she got to give me a call.
And we got a building. We got a whole building downtown.
I can't wait to see the building. I'll be down there. I know downtown Pittsburgh, buddy. Just give me an
Right by
address.
Little Weeze. It's right by Little Weeze.
Is it? You're dropping names like Jessica Lee at Little Weeze. Thursday night's Jazz Networking. Come on up.
I gotta come.
Come this week. We might have a good crowd up there.
I might be there on Thursday. I might be there.
I'll be there. You come on out. We do a lot of networking in Pittsburgh here, so
Yeah.
come on up. You hear a lot of great jazz, a lot of great performers. Last week there were probably like 60 people there. It was that crowded. Yeah, and the week before there were even more. You would have learned about the duck. For everybody that's interested in the duck, this guy, a Dutch guy, come up with this duck for world peace. It's going to be here for a couple more weeks. And then another friend of mine who watches the show in Bethel Park, Mark Freeman. He does a lot of cultural events. It's hard to talk about that in the cultural district. They had a lot of events going on this past week. And he was saying how, those little ducks, I won a duck at one of the booths when I threw the ball and won a duck. The duck is 7 million times bigger than the little duck. The 40-foot duck is 7 million times. I don't know how they come up with the number, but it's just unreal.
It's a big one, huh?
Look at my cover page. You'll see that duck on the river.
Like that.
It's on the Allegheny, buddy, for anybody that wants to know. It's not the
Ohio.
Ohio.
Not the Ohio?
Here, I'll give you, Monongahela is on the one side. Allegheny's on the other side. And they form together right at the point. It's called the Ohio. So that's where it is. You got a little fiction and fact from Al Levine's Almanac. But that's my story about that. It's some great stuff. But come up to Jazz Networking on about 6 o'clock at Little Weeze. 949 Liberty Avenue, buddy. You can park for free after 6 o'clock. I know you don't mind that. Definitely. Hey, one other shout out. I wanted Claudio Rosano, the head coach of CMU baseball. Their team is 9-3. He has a lot of great talent. Really cool. If you can check out their games, their season's winding down for fall ball. They only have about, I think, 2 or 3 games left this weekend. So check out CMU's website. They always post the information about their team. They're having a great year. But then I want to announce to you guys, like we did last week, Al Oliver. Any of you guys and ladies that remember Scoops, Al Oliver was one of the greatest hitters around, but we had so many great outfielders, he was platooned a lot. Well, he has over 2,700 hits, won batting titles, was an all-star and everything else. If you want to help, the governor of Ohio is working to get Al Oliver in the Hall of Fame, the Baseball Hall of Fame. Send an email to Al Oliver 4, number 4, HOF. Again, it's Al Oliver, the number 4, HOF @gmail.com. If you send the email, then the governor will get that. Matter of fact, Smoking Jim's getting a call right now. I think Al Oliver's on the phone. Well, here's the thing. He's supposed to call in tomorrow night at Steel City Sports World. So if you can tune into the show, they have it streamed online. I've watched it a couple times. We got another caller here.
That's Al Oliver.
Hello, caller. Who is this? Hello? No caller. Oh, well, they were just calling a station. I thought we had another caller. We're running out of time. Maybe
But you
little.
said Al Oliver had 2,700 hits?
Yes.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's a lot of hits, Al.
Yeah, he did. I think he was close to even like what Babe Ruth and Lou Gehrig had. They never had 3,000 hits.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I'll give you, since we missed fiction and fact, I'll give you a couple more statistics
please.
here.
I love that stuff.
Roberto Clemente on this day had his 3,000th hit on his last game. He had a double. There's a classic picture that they have with him tipping his hat, and they did it on this day in 1972 there. And they come out with his card after that, even though he had passed away. So, I mean, it was a tough thing as a humanitarian. Now, Babe Ruth is another guy. I posted another thing that don't have any fear about striking out. When Babe Ruth retired in 1935, he had the most home runs and the most strikeouts. So that shows you there's no fear of Smoking Jim.
Right.
Little things like that. And then on today's date, Joe DiMaggio, you remember him?
My favorite.
Well, he was 18 years old. He signed in the Pacific League, and he started his baseball career then, this year, at 18.
Wow.
Went right to the sports, and then a couple years later, he's with the Yankees, and look at what he did over time.
Wow. And if you look at it, what a guy like, say, Hank Aaron did,
Right.
I mean, he averaged nearly 40 home runs a year for 20 years. That's almost impossible to do.
Well, these guys had a little help, and they had 70 home runs, 60-some home runs to do that.
Yeah.
It was just awesome what he did.
Wow.
You know, he should still be the home run champ.
Bud
Selig, they should have shut him down. He was under investigation. Then what happened? He got suspended and in trouble, but only after he set the record. That's why we disagree on some things, buddy.
Yeah. That swing he had was beautiful, Barry Bonds. And he could have had more, but they wouldn't pitch to him.
Well, he was leading the league in walks for how many years? Why would you pitch to a guy that doubled in size? I have his rookie card, 176 pounds.
No.
Yeah,
Are you serious?
If you look, he
176?
was a handsome guy.
Wow.
Definitely. There's no doubt. You got to check out some of that. I'll give you some.
We spent some time at the Holiday House together.
Did you?
Yeah, he used to talk my ears off, man. Yeah.
See, you were just playing me, you know, but he wasn't 176 then. He might have been a little bigger, but he was an MVP a few times here before he left. Just imagine if they would have kept that team together and Sid Bream wouldn't have broke our heart by scoring that run.
Yeah.
You know, what if they kept Bobby Bonilla? What if Barry Bonds was still here?
Yeah.
Andy Van Slyke.
That was my favorite, Andy.
Yeah, I just heard him on an interview the other night. You know, his son just had a walk-off homer for the Dodgers.
He's in the big leagues.
Yeah, his son's in the big leagues doing pretty good.
Same last name?
Yeah, just look for Van Slyke, buddy.
Wow.
That apple didn't fall far from the tree.
That's good.
Yeah. I'm trying to bring you up to speed with a little of my fiction and fact.
That. Andy don't need Maury to know that that's his son, huh?
No, not at all, buddy. He knows. And they even talked about, here's what's funny, there was controversy about Barry Bonds, that Andy Van Slyke had told him, if you move up 4 or 5 steps before that last hit, that maybe he would have been able to throw Bream out. Because he did tell the people on the show that he had to throw across his body, so that did take away from his throw a little bit. But yeah, we'll have to talk more about that.
Wow.
We're ready to wind down on the show. We're down to the last couple minutes.
Really? It went fast.
Yeah. Well, you did a lot of talking there, buddy, so I appreciate it. You held me in the game. You got any closing remarks here you want to bring up on?
Well, it's everybody knows that, well, they make me say it. Everybody knows that Gateway High School, according Gateway Gators, the powerhouse of football, is ranked by Rivals.com the 23rd best team in the country. I think they should be ranked a little higher. They play a rivalry team this week out of conference at North Allegheny. So everybody get out to see Gateway take down North Allegheny.
Really?
Yeah.
There you go. You got the.
I got a lunch bet with our friend Glenn Anderson on it.
Do you? We got to get Glenn back on the show because I think he's going to collect on that bet. It's just a little guess on my part. As we wind the show down, I want to thank everybody for watching the show. Appreciate we're getting a lot of feedback in all the communities here from north, south, east, and west. Appreciate it. And thanks again to Bethel Park, the great volunteers here. We got John the intern. Aaron Ward's here. I heard Devin Shea was coming in, so he may be here now. Devin's here. Dave Cable does an excellent job with the graphics. Appreciate that. And thanks to all of you for watching this again. And let's go Bucks. All right, we need a win tonight. 8:07, watch that game. We're going to win, and we'll be in St. Louis. Have a great night.